years later, after getting this camera in place, because I didn't know how hard it was to actually set up a camera. But anyways, hi, I'm Ale, and I'm making this channel basically to just get through my 20s, I guess, and because I don't know everything clearly, but maybe in like sharing these experiences with other people, I like will relate, and like I might hear stuff that other people might have to say, even if 2-3 people watch this. Like at the end of the day, it's just like at least those 2-3 people will know something more about me that I feel like I haven't really shared with a lot of people in my life currently. So if I take little pauses, I might just like do cuts and stuff like that, because I'm not very good at like talking. I was never good at public speech, so. But something I did want to talk about is that I feel like in our 20s, I'm 26 right now, and I feel like at this age, I feel like I was gonna have it all together. Like, I kind of had this perception of what adults are like, and what adult men are like, and what adult women are like, and what I was gonna be like as an adult. And here I am, not knowing. But I feel like something about that is really, like, beautiful, because in a way it's like, if there were any girls like 12, 13 years old to ever like watch my video, watch anybody else's video that relates to this, one thing I would tell those girls and those kids growing up is keep learning more about yourself and stay authentic to yourself, as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself. Because the people that you see growing up in your house, your mom and your dad, like, yes, they have a lot figured out, taxes, some of them don't, but I'm saying, like, a lot of the overall stuff, they're gonna make it happen, because at the end of the day, if they are good parents, they're gonna make sure that they're taking care of you. So you might not know all the struggles they're really going through to make that mortgage payment, but there is a lot going on behind their heads where they deserve the same grace that I feel like certain people get, and we need to give that to them, because they don't know what they're doing either. It's their first time living, like, it's like that thing that people say, it's your mom's first time living, it's your dad's first time living. I really think that statement is so true, because I look at pictures of my dad when he was little, and I'm like, holy cow, like, how was my dad a teenage boy? Like, how was my dad a 26-year-old man? And, like, now he's like, I'm scared of him sometimes when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing right, or whatever. And I think about it, I'm like, he had moments in time where he didn't know what the heck he was doing, and he made mistakes, and his parents got mad at him. So, like, I need to give myself that grace. I went to Mexico about a week ago, and I love to ask my grandparents questions. Like, I think something so important is to ask your grandparents, your family members, like, whoever's in your life, if it was your aunt, your uncle, like, this random aunt that your mom brought because she was friends with her from school, like, whoever it is that's super important in your life, like, ask them a lot of questions on, like, anything that you're curious about. Like, if you are struggling with doing your hair in the morning, ask them, like, hey, how did you do your hair in the morning? If a girl picked on you for having bruises, ask them, hey, did you ever get picked on, and what did you do? If you're ever heartbroken, tell your grandma, like, hey, this happened, and have you ever struggled with anything like that? More than likely, they definitely have, and they're gonna have really good advice to give you. Like, I feel like we create these assumptions in our heads where we think that we, like, not everyone, and I'm speaking for myself, honestly, but I made these assumptions in my head where anyways, okay, my camera cut off, but as I was saying, that I feel like more than likely your grandma, your grandpa, whoever it may be that is in your life that you can ask for advice, will know that the situation that you're going through is something that they have dealt with in whatever different way it might have been for them, but they definitely have advice. Like, I've had really, really dark moments in my life where I was like, I don't know, like, I went to my grandmother's house a week ago and I told her how insecure, to the point where I was crying because I feel like I got in my head so much about it, and I had this little like keloid removed basically, and my skin is the type of skin that it is hyperpigmented, so I get marks very easily. And in the world that we're living in right now with like, you know, social media and like filters and like perfect skin and all these like different things that are going into like how we're supposed to look as like human beings, like the peptides, like working out. And I'm so for health, you know, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not against those things. It's just like it can get into your head and you're almost like always nitpicking how you look so that you can look like the most perfect version of yourself. And this quote I really, really loved was, "You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be yourself." And that really stuck with me because some of the women and like people that I admire the most, and I'm like, wow, she radiates so much confidence, like I feel like have flaws. Like, most of the time I think they're even more beautiful because I see a certain flaw in them and I'm like, holy cow, like how can I love myself like that with my flaws also? Because I think she's gorgeous, or I think he's super cool, like, and he has these things that I would judge the heck out of myself, you know? So I'm like, what? And I feel like that's where like your mind starts just tricking you and telling you like you need to be better, you're not there yet, you're not worth it. Like, I don't know, just these little thoughts. And I feel like I'm still trying to get through like how to manage those thoughts, and I know that they're gonna keep coming, but I'm like, how can I get to a point where they don't affect me and like I can protrude that inner joy and that confidence and that self-love that I have inside of me that's like, I feel it like ready to come out, you know what I mean? Like, it almost makes me want to cry because I'm like, it's right there, and it's just like I'm putting all the puzzle pieces together to see like how I can be that version of myself. But I see it and I feel it. But anyways, I was telling you about my grandmother. So I was telling her about these scars that I have and how at times it makes me self-conscious to even try to get a job interview or like go to a job, because I'm studying interior design. Most of the firms that I work or like want to work with have very high class people, and I'm not saying I'm not a high class person, but you know, I have tattoos, I have scars on my body, like not everywhere, you know, but enough so that you can notice them. And those things have made me feel really self-conscious because I'm like, dang, like what if I go to this job interview and this woman sees that and now she's like, oh no, she has this problem, like I don't want to have her here at my job, or I don't want her to work for me or whatever. And it really has affected me in like so many aspects of my life, because I'm always like, damn, like how is this person gonna perceive me? How is that person gonna perceive me? And I'm trying to be confident in those moments. I'm not perfect, so obviously sometimes it still affects me, but I think I'm getting better, especially now that I'm like talking more about it. And my grandmother basically said, don't hide them. Don't ever hide them, because that's when she said, you would not be the woman that you are today if it weren't for the scars that you have. And you wouldn't have the knowledge that you have right now without all those little beauty marks, all those marks that you have make who you are. Imagine if we were all the same person, and like, joy to the women who have perfect skin and perfect hair and perfect everything, you know? No one is actually like that though. Like, you might think so, but they have their own things that they're battling in their head. There's so many times people have told me like, how are you so confident? Like, you're super like, you know, like you think so highly of yourself, or like this and that. And think to myself, like, well, it may seem that way because it's kind of like the fake it till you make it situation where you're like, I'm scared of someone else hurting me, so maybe if I act like I love myself so much, or like I think I'm the bomb, they'll think so too. And it's not that I don't think that. I love myself, but hearing those things from certain people, I'm like, wow, like they really do think that I have it all together, that I love like every bit of me, that there's nothing that I would change about myself, and I wouldn't. You know, like when I really sit down with myself and think about it, I'm like, no, I would not change anything. It makes me want to cry. Like, of course there's some little things that I'm like, dang, like, you know, I don't know, shinier hair, longer hair. I want a smaller waist. I want a bigger butt. I want perkier boobs. I want softer skin. I want less hairy arms. I like so many things where I'm like, you know what? Like, I actually love my arms. Like, I can't have this much hair on my head and not have some hairy arms, you know? And if you do, like, you're just lucky. But, like, in my situation, I just tell myself things like that because I'm like, it might feel like that, but it's also because of all the standards that I feel like society has put on us. Like, men thinking that, like, they have to now hit their jaws so that they have a more defined jaw structure. It's like, why would you even want a woman that you had to do that to your face for her to love you? To me, that just doesn't make any sense. But obviously, like, everyone has their own opinions, and if that makes you happy, like, go for it. For me personally, it would make me very upset, and it would make me, like, not as good as I could be. But I got distracted because this guy's, like, cleaning right here. I just feel like what my grandma told me that day was so good, because she's a woman that I would go into an interview, and this is, like, a grand woman, like the type of older woman that you see and you're kind of like, holy cow, like she looks like the Devil Wears Prada or something, you know, like that woman. And her telling me that, and like then seeing pictures of how she looked like when she was younger, like I was like, dang, if I met her today, like I feel like she wouldn't like me. Like she seems so judgmental and all these things, like from like the outer appearance, because, you know, she just looks like, I don't know exactly how to describe it. I literally think it's just like the lady from the Devil Wears Prada, like the one with the white hair. So her telling me, like, don't care what they think and don't hide your scars and go into that interview with your sleeves like this so that you show your tattoos or you show your scars, so that you know that if they didn't want you there, they didn't want you there, and you shouldn't want to be there. Because you should want to be with the people that could see those scars, see your tattoos, see anything that you possibly have, and they look past it because you're talent, because you're smart, because you're a leader, because you're patient, because you're good with people, because you're kind, because you are compassionate. I have so many qualities. And she was telling me, she's like, you generally care for other people. You ask your grandpa how he's doing. You try to ask anyone if they need help with something. And that is true. Like, I am a very caring person, and a job would be lucky to have me, because I would contribute so much to them if they simply just accepted me who I am and like loved me as I am. And I'm not asking for like love, but I'm asking for like human to human love and compassion. Wanting the other person to succeed. You don't have to love someone and know them very long for you to want them to have a joy. You don't have to be the type of person that's constantly talking to everyone for you to still want people to have a good day or anything like that. Like, I feel like it could be the person just cleaning the rooftop right now, and I'm gonna go out of my way to ask, hey, do you need me to move? Am I bothering you? Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna go entitled into so many situations like I feel like so many people have been. And I'm not the best. I never will be the best, you know? I understand that there's certain sayings that, even saying that, like, it makes me feel weird, because we're in a society where it's like, you have to be the best, and like, you have to be the prettiest, and you have to be this, and you have to be that, and it's like, I'm okay with not, and I know I still deserve love. Because I would not want people in my life, I would not want a boyfriend, I would not want friends, I would not want anyone in my life that needs me to be perfect for them to love me. Like, I don't want that, because I love people imperfectly. Like, I don't care if you're having the worst mental breakdown and you're my sister, like, I will love you the next day and today. But I will be there for you, and I will, like, just little things like that I feel like just go a really long way. But overall, I feel like the whole point of this video is truly to just show up for yourself. I'm 26, anyone in their 20s, like, we don't know what the hell we're doing. 30s, we don't know what the hell we're doing. Like, 50s, I'm pretty sure they don't know what they're doing, you know? Because my mom always calls me, and I'll tell her a piece of advice, and she's like, Ale, all the times that you give me a piece of advice, it sticks with me and it helps me. Now when she wants to talk about a certain situation that is like low vibrational, we say tomato, tomato. And we snap out of it and we start laughing immediately. Because sometimes as a daughter and as a friend and as a younger person, as a person that is not as smart, doesn't have a PhD, doesn't have a master's, doesn't have a bachelor's, you can still know something that person needs to hear, you know? You don't have to be all that to listen, and I need to get better at that too, because I feel like I've been given so much advice, and I'm a person that loves to speak, I love to defend, but then when it comes to me listening sometimes, I do have a hard time with that. But I am proud to say that I can admit that, because I think the first step to anything is being able to admit, like, hey, I have insecurities. Hey, I can be jealous. Hey, I can be dismissive. Hey, I can be a bad listener. Stuff like that, because at the end of the day, I want to be a good listener when I have kids. I want to be a good listener when I have a friend that's genuinely trying to give me a good advice, and even if she doesn't know the entire story, just listen. You don't know if that could help you later on in life, and if she is a good friend, those intentions are well. So with that being said, I hope I continue making these YouTube videos and that I have more to talk about, because I really enjoyed making this. I feel like it did connect me a bit more with who I am as a person and what I want to be in this world, and how I want to contribute to it too. I've always thought to myself, you have to have a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And my reason for doing YouTube, for putting any of this type of content out, is seriously to, like, obviously to help myself, but it's also to help and find a community of people that feel the same and feel like they have these thoughts. And I would love to make it into something bigger and make it so that more people that are feeling like this can feel more grounded in the society that we live in today. Because all that social media stuff, all those pretty girls you're seeing, like, all of that is fake. At the end of the day, I live in Miami, so I have gone to Miami Swim Week. I've participated in it. I've met some of these girls that people are on Instagram saying, like, oh, she looks fake here, she looks fake there. And honestly, a lot of the women that I might have thought that of are the sweetest women I've ever... Obviously, there's the bad people and then there's the good people in anything. But the most important thing, I think, is just to be a genuine human being. And even if you see a girl that you might think, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm kind of jealous of her, or I'm this or that, approach her and just talk to her. If she's mean, you know what? Be like, goodbye, go read a book, go for a walk, go watch your favorite show. It's not the end of the world, it's fine. But honestly, a lot of the times, I think those girls would be willing to talk and be nice and share advice and just talk about girly stuff, you know? Like, we used to play with Polly Pockets and Club Penguin and do all these things, and all of us are just growing up. We're little kids, we're little girls, little boys, inside adult bodies now, trying to figure out what to do. And I think that we're doing a great job, honestly. Like, I think that all of these trials and tribulations and all these hurdles that are happening, I think are genuinely meant to be there so that the ones who see past it will be in such a high state and such a good state. And I believe in God, so I believe that you're gonna get closer to that goodness than if you just stay thinking the negatives on all the stuff that we're going through. Because I'm trying to see it as something like, they say, oh, if you can drive in Mexico City, you can drive anywhere in the world because it's so hard to drive there. So I think in society we live in today, if we can get past this and see the good and have morals, have empathy, have compassion, have love, and like really, really just find the best positive way to transform it, we can get through anything. Because what is worse than artificial intelligence, OnlyFans? Like, I'm not trying to hate on any of that, but I'm just saying a couple of the things that have come up in like the last few years, even Instagram, like it's not that old, like all these things that have come up can be used for the better, but obviously can also have a really negative effect on society. So I'm not bashing on the people that are doing good out of those things. I'm more so saying, like, let's hold more consciousness and like well-being and just all that to whenever we're on those apps or seeing those things on our phones or in real life when a man is treating you a certain way because of the society we live in. Try to continue having that goodness and seeing that it's almost like a lotus flower trap, like on Percy Jackson. I'm using so many references. It's like a trap where some people fall in it, and you just have to see it like as, oh, they're blind right now, I hope they heal, I pray to God that they get better, and you continue on the good path and seeing that the things that are supposed to matter, you already are aware, are like morals, compassion, all those good things, not all that negative, low vibrational stuff. But enough with my yapping. I am so happy I was able to talk and get my thoughts out, and I'm happy that it flowed a bit. And yeah, my YouTube channel is at Cherry Workshops, and I hope that you can like and subscribe, because I wouldn't probably be here like more often. I'm not sure how this is gonna go or anything like that, but hopefully I can do it weekly. And yeah, love you.